Hello everyone! This week's solve was not insanely fast, but it was very interesting and there's definitely some things we can learn from it. So let's take a look. For this solve, the white caught my eye because 3 cross pieces were already in the bottom layer and 1 was in the wrong place, but it was joined to a corner that would be solved. I wanted to use this to make an X cross, so I found the edge that goes with it, the blue-red, in the back here, and I decided I could insert it like that. When I did this solution, I did R, D2 R prime, which makes the cross plus this corner. I noticed that by inserting this edge with L prime, U prime, L, it would also insert this corner. And I had seen this in inspection, but the problem with this is I wanted to expand my X cross to be a double X cross, since this corner would be solved. But the edge that went with this corner was over here. So because this edge was locked in here by this corner, I didn't really know how to get it out in a good way, so I just did a single X cross and left this corner solved in the back. After this, I was a bit perplexed because I didn't know what to do, so I had a pretty big pause looking for my next pair, and I eventually settled on this one in the back right, which I just did like this. And then I had another really big pause looking for this pair. I really should have seen this pair while I was solving the back right pair because this edge stayed in the front the whole time, but for some reason I didn't see this. So eventually I went in and solved this pair, and then I had the last edge remaining in the top layer, and I knew that the corner that went with this edge would be solved already because I tracked it in inspection. Now unfortunately I second guessed what I wanted to do here. My first instinct was to rotate and do an insertion, but then I decided to rotate back and do a weirder insertion. It uses some E moves and it goes like this. If I had decided to go straight into this alg with the E moves, I could have had a rotationless solve, but since I had second guessed myself, I ended up doing 2 unnecessary rotations. That said, it worked out in my favor because the COLL case that I got afterward ended up giving me an EPLL skip and no AUF. There are a couple things that could be improved about this solve. One, I really shouldn't have used that E move because clearly I can't execute it very well under pressure. I locked up a lot during the algorithm. What I really should have done is just done the first rotation and inserted the edge like this. It still would have preserved my EO, and I wouldn't have had to rotate back and then do a weird alg. Realistically, it's a safer bet even though you still have to rotate. The second thing I want to focus on is a different solution I could have done for my X cross. What I could have noticed, once again, is that I know this edge doesn't move when I do R D2 R prime, it stays in the same place. So instead of inserting the red-blue edge with the corner, what I could have done is a U2 and then inserted it like this. Not only does this still insert this edge and allow me to do the X cross, but it also sets up the orange-blue right here in the front where I can see it. This would also help me reduce my pausing because I would be able to know where the pieces are and I wouldn't have to pause before solving my second pair. Either way, those are a few cool things that I learned from watching my solve this week, and I hope to see you all next week for the weekly weekend walkthrough. Thanks for watching.